Okay, so now I'm riding this horse and improving his stop. See, in the world that he came from, when he was asked to stop, if he took 2 or 3 or 4 more steps, that was fine. You know, trail riding, backyard riding, that's typically not a problem. In the world that I live in, where I do performance kinds of stuff, he needs to step his game up. So here's how I'm going to do that under saddle. It should be better just from the few things I just did, you know, from the ground. Let's see what happens. One of the things I've been working on, and this was on a previous video, is trying to get him to stop off of my seat. And he's starting to get it at a walk, so I'm just going to sit back and take my legs off and see what happens. So, see, it was the same thing. He understood the cue, but he took about 2 or 3 more steps, okay? So, to reinforce that, what I'm going to do, and I really, really rarely ever pull on a horse to stop them. What I will do is I will bump that horse. So this time I'm going to come in, I'm going to sit back, and if he doesn't stop, bump, I bumped his mouth, okay? And I didn't rip his lips off. It was just a, you know, about that hard. It was a bump. If you pull, a horse can pull against you. But if you don't pull, they cannot pull against you. So, and I don't know if this will get much better. I've worked on this quite a bit over the last couple of months, and it's gradually getting better. He does at least understand when I sit back and take my legs off. Let's see what happens here. That was a little better. He took about 1.5 steps, but on that step I felt him slowing down. Okay, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what he does at a trot. And typically this horse, he's a kind of a, as you can see, he wants to go. He's a kind of a go kind of horse. And especially when you first get on him, he's got a lot of go on his mind. So let's see what he does when I come around here and sit back and ask him to stop. So I bumped him twice that time. He felt me sit back. He started stopping, but he didn't put much effort into it. And it is effort. It's work for a horse to stop, especially if he does it right. And I'm not even thinking about him stopping on his hind end or doing anything properly yet. I just want him at this stage to get the idea that when I tell him to quit, stop, he needs to do it right now. That's a little better. So I just really didn't even bump him. I barely touched his mouth and he stopped. And he's doing some things he shouldn't do. He's pushing his nose out, some things like that. I'll fix that as time goes on. But for right today, I'm just working on this stop. He wants to lope off because it's easier than trotting. Okay. Next time I'm going to add the stop word and see if it makes any difference. He took about 1.5 steps there. Ooh, not much. Still took about another step. Okay, let's try it again. Let's work on it a few times here. And I'm going to stop in a different place this time. Ooh. So I bumped him twice. Okay. And different trainers use different terminology for what I'm doing here. I heard one guy call it set, release, another said pull, release, pull, release. I'm just calling it bump. It's the same thing. Ooh. So that time I just barely touched him and he stopped. So that's better. That was better. Okay. Ooh. That time he took about 3 more steps. So he understands the cue, he just does not understand that I want him to do it immediately and I want him to put more effort into it. So these are the things I'll work on. I'm going to show you one more, and I've actually shown you this particular exercise before that I think works really well, and I call it a fence drill. I guess different people might call it different things, but I'm going to use the fence. And this time, if I have to touch his mouth, I will only pull on the rein that is next to the fence. So that would be the right hand on this case. So I'm going to come in there, do exactly the same thing I just did, but I'm going to let the fence stop him right here. See, so that time I didn't have to pull on his mouth or anything, because I've done this drill enough that he understands that the fence is stopping him. And that time he took a couple more steps. I didn't have to pull on him. You know, and he anticipated that stop, which they will. You can't do this fence drill. You can't stop every time because they'll anticipate you too hard. Oh. And then you can mix it up and find a different spot on the fence. I'll stop him over here somewhere. Oh. Okay. Then I'll come around. You just kind of mix it up so they don't anticipate it much. Oh. Okay. Come over here. Okay. So I'm wanting him to start putting his butt under himself. That's a little better. When he feels my weight shift. A little better. And he stopped on his front end there pretty hard. This drill will actually fix that over time. That's better. Ooh. Had to bump him. See, he gets excited. See if he comes over here. Ooh. Okay. Come back this way. Ooh. Okay. Now, the one you saw me do where I'm bumping his mouth, I don't do that on young horses. And it's not necessary on the ones I start, because they'll stop off my voice before I ever get on their back. So with him, because he's 13 years old and I'm retraining him, I'm having to use a little bit more stronger methods. And this is not causing him any pain or anything like that, but it is discomfort, and I need to get his attention, and I need to get him to understand that this is serious. And if you don't think it's serious, then I'll just tell you, get on a runaway horse and ride that for a while. Anybody done that? Let me see your hands, because you do that a time or two and it'll convince you that you need your horse to stop. Okay, so those are some drills that'll help you work on those, and over time your horse will get better and you will get a better stop on your horse. All right, folks, it's cold out here. Do not put a cold bit in your horse's mouth. That is mean. Make your horse not want a bit in his mouth. So you can warm it up, rub it, blow on it, stick it into my high-tech bit warmer right there. Figure out a way to warm that bit up before you put it in his mouth. And your horse will appreciate it.